Welcome to Collecting Chaos. It's Freeform Friday. Today we've got a pretty easy one. We're going to take the spine roll out of this comic, maybe clean it up a little bit, and that's it. It's a real easy one. That's the first thing. And then I'm going to finish putting this back together. So there you go. That's what's in store for today. Let's get started. Okay, I'm going to start by putting this back together. I'm going to straighten out the staples before I begin. And once I get the staples straightened out, we'll be back and we'll go ahead and start putting it together. Okay, I forgot that these staples actually have some surface rust on them. So what we're going to do, we're just going to take we're just going to clean it off a little bit. Has some dirt, some surface rust, but these cotton swabs will take and clean them up just fine. Yeah, that's better. And now we'll do the other one. This one's a little worse than the other one. Maybe I should have done a vinegar soak to take off the surface rust, but I forgot about it, so we're not going to worry too much about it here. Just going to clean them up a little bit. I could nickel plate them if I had the equipment, but yeah, we're just gonna go with this and get them cleaned up a little bit. There, that should be fine. Don't want anything to look too good. Just as with the last one, I can see where the staples were, so we're just going to go ahead and put it back together like this. Get my I know where that first one is. Paper is still really dark. Everybody does this, puts their staples back in a little differently. It's just the way it is. Some people just want to do one page at a time. I could do that, but it would take forever. And to be honest with you, I've spent way too much time on this comic already. There you go. The staples are in, the cover is attached. I can pick up the comic that way if I want. I'm not going to press it again, I don't think. I think I've done fine on that already. We're just going to go ahead and stick it in a Mylar. Okay, I do notice that the cover is down a little bit from the top. That happens. I've got to figure out a way to so that when I put the comics back together, they all come up even. I have some ideas. We'll go into that at a later date. Let's go ahead and stick this in here. There you go. There's the Magik. I will now show you the before, and then you can see the after. It's not the best thing in the world, but at least it's flat. In the meantime, I still have this one I haven't even started on. And I think what I'm going to do, I don't know, it's just so bad. So, let's do that now. So, I've shown this method before. I'm going to show it to you again. You don't always have a press. And I'm going to show you how you can remove the spine split if you don't have a press. Or the spine roll if you don't have a press. But first we're going to clean this up a little bit. And to do that, we'll get an old backing board. Stick it behind here. Mostly I want to clean up the back because the back's pretty nasty. And we'll just go over it with an eraser, real light, as I showed you in my introduction to erasers videos, which if you haven't watched them, you might want to do that. And I'm not going to try to get all of the dirt off this right now. Just want to clean it up a little bit. Get some of the surface dirt off. And then maybe, once I'm done, I'll go ahead and use some Magik clean on it just to get a little bit more of the dirt off. I'm going to use a second board in here. And we're going to go over the white areas real quick. Like I said, it's not something I'm worried about trying to get all the dirt off of it, because I am going to go over it some more. Most likely with the Magik. And I've shown you that enough times, or I've done that enough times, I'm not going to do that on camera. So, there you go. Next, I want to get my cutting board. And I'm going to open it to the center. I need a couple of sheets of this, one for underneath. One on top. And I'm going to use the travel iron here. It's on a high setting. And all I'm going to do is iron it. Flip it over. And I'm not even using any steam on it, which would make it work a little better. I probably will when I get ready to fold it again. Okay. You can use the steam function on your iron to add a little bit of moisture to it. I'm going to go ahead and use my steamer on this now and add some moisture to it, then go over it again with the iron. Okay, I've got it steamed. I put a couple of pieces of backing boards underneath it with a slight space so that the staples will go down in between the space. I'm then going to take this once more. I've already gone over the other side of it, the inside, and now we'll just go over the outside. And now you can actually go just right over the staples. It won't hurt anything. It won't press them through the book because you've already got a space for it to prevent that from happening. And just keep going over it for a little while. Now, why do I do it flat like this? Well, number one, I want to get rid of the old crease completely, and this was one of the best ways to do that. In addition to that, I'm taking out spine ticks. Yeah, I'm actually removing some of the spine ticks that were in the book at the same time. Once you get it the second time like that, ideally what you should do, I have a big, but you can use poster board for this. You can use just about anything. You want to put something over it, and then you want to put something heavy on top of it, because you want that spine to flatten out. Now, I've got a box full of comics here from previous MyLight videos that I haven't had a chance to actually put in MyLight. And I would just set that on top of it. Now, ideally, this is a cold press. It would be better if you had the whole comic covered, but we're just worried about that center part right now. So you can put a big book over it. I've got several of those. Matter of fact, that's even a better idea. I'll just take my Golden Age of Superman, the greatest covers of Action Comics. Put it down. Now I've created a cold press. Ideally, I would want to leave that in there for 2 or 3 days. Just to completely remove all traces of that old fold. I don't have 2 or 3 days. I got maybe 2 or 3 hours to show you how to do this, if that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and accelerate it and show you the next step, even though it's not going to be permanent. Next, what I would do, I would take one of these, put it in the center, figure out where I want that fold at, and as you can see, it's still got some of that roll, and that's not a big deal. I knew that would happen, but you want to get it evened up. Actually, I've removed most of the spine roll. Insert your board. Make sure it's even. We're going to actually hold that right like that. And we're going to take it and put it down, keeping pressure on that side, because we don't want to have an uneven fold. You want to keep checking it. Okay, that looks good. Put pressure on there, add your second. And then we're going to go over it with this. We're going to go just like this. Now, while this is going to end up being temporary, if we take a look at it, there is no more spine roll. The spine roll is gone. The spine roll will come back because I didn't keep pressure on it long enough. But what I'm going to do to prevent that is I'm going to go ahead and stick this back on here. Go over it one more time. Put this on there, put my book on there, and even if all I do is leave this one book on there and nothing else, it's still good. And I'm going to leave it there for 3 or 4 hours, come back, show you what it looks like, and then I'm not going to show you, I'm going to clean it some more, but I'm not going to show you that part. And that'll be it. It'll be done. So we'll be back in a few hours to check on it. Okay, I did clean it a little more. After I cleaned it some more, I went ahead and steamed it and pressed it. But I did not change the way the spine roll was. And it should still be in a cold press for a couple of days in order to solidify it and make sure it stays that way. But I wanted to get it done. I wanted to make it so that you could see what it turned out as. But before I show it, let's go back and take a look at it before I start it again. Okay? Well, now that you've seen the before, let's take a look at the after. Let's see what it turned out like. There you go. You notice it isn't fanned out. It's nice and flat. It is a lot cleaner than what it was. I didn't try to get all the dirt off of it, but I did take some more off. A significant amount, especially from the front cover. So there you go. That's how it turned out. Let's go ahead and put it in a Mylar. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be putting this one on the wheel or not. I haven't decided if I want to collect Battlestar Galactica, and if I do decide, I want to collect it, I don't know if I have another copy of this or not. So we're just going to go ahead and stick that in a Mylar, and I'll make up my mind what I want to do a little bit later. So that's it. There's the 2 comics that I've finished up today. Make sure before you handle your comics, your cards, collectibles, toys, whatever you happen to be into, you wash your hands. It's good for your comics, good for your toys. Most of all, it's good for your health. I do drop 3 videos a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I do a live stream on Thursdays. Last night, I didn't have a lot of people there. That's okay. Horizon and Treasures Noir was doing a t-shirt sale, and I knew I wasn't going to have a lot of people, and it's all right. We're going to coordinate a little bit better so we don't have quite as big an overlap, and maybe we can help it out a little bit, and we'll see what happens. So yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned a little bit, and don't forget, you don't have to have a press to take the spine roll out of a comic. But it does help. And we'll see you next video. Actually, no, we'll see you tonight at Horizon Picks Auction. Bye.